morning, my dear students. So today we are going to start the second lesson of our book. Second lesson is about the quantum mechanical atom model. Right? It's a very interesting lesson. This is the basic for most of the chemistry. So you must understand this lesson very clearly, and you should get the concepts. Right? We know that atom is the basic unit of all the matters. Right? Whatever substance that you touch in this world is containing atoms. So எங்க தொட்டாலும் என்னதான் தொடுவோம்? Atom தான் தொடுவோம். In Greek, this atom word is taken from Greek word atomi, which means non-disposable or non-divisible, right? So when you say atomi in Greek, it is non-divisible. First they thought this is the smallest particle in the world, it cannot be further subdivided. But after the work of J.J. Thomson, it is found that atom is mainly containing 3 subatomic particles. There are 3 subatomic particles. All of us know that it is proton, electron and neutron. Right? So J.J. Thomson cathode ray experiment discovered this electron, Rutherford discovered proton, and Chadwick discovered neutron. So later on they have changed the concept. They said atom is divisible. We can divide atoms into smaller particles. Right? Now, when you say atom model, so what is to be explained in this lesson is, when you say the model of a school, that means there is a gate, and after that there is a principal office, staff room, classroom, lab, and restroom, like that. All these things are how arranged is the model of a school, right? Like that. Instead of model, the better word is structure, right? So it should be called as atomic structure instead. What is the structure? How these 3 particles are placed in an atom, we are going to learn. There is a big history that how this model of atom is being proposed by different scientists. The first person to produce a model for the atom is Thomson's model. So Thomson's model is that atom is a positive sphere in which electrons are embedded in it. Just like the seeds in the watermelon. Watermelonல அந்த சின்ன சின்ன seeds இருக்குது இல்லையா, அந்த மாதிரி இருக்குதுன்னு யார் சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணது? Thomson suggested. So he suggested that atom is a sphere. It has got what charge? Positive charge. Fulla positive charge இருக்குது. அங்கங்க என்ன இறங்கி கிடக்குது? Electron. This is the model suggested by Thomson. Right? This model was disproved later on. Even some of the tappu. Like that only this physics and chemistry will go. Right? So the second person who did a work on the atom model is Rutherford. He did an experiment called Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. So in this experiment, he proved that Thomson model is wrong. Right? So what is this Rutherford alpha scattering experiment? So he used alpha particles. First we should know about this alpha particles. Where do they come from? Alpha particles are always coming from the radioactive elements. So the radioactive elements will always emit 3 types of rays: alpha rays, beta rays, and gamma rays. So in the alpha rays, we have alpha particles. Alpha particles are called as helium nucleus. Right? They got 2 protons and 2 neutrons. and they are positively charged particle. So these three informations you should know. At least this one you should know. Alpha particle no adu enna thernu first. It's a positive particle, right? It is in short represented as He24 or alpha-24. This is very rarely used. This is the one which is very often used, right? In chemistry book, wherever you see He24, this 2 is the number of protons and 4 is the protons and neutrons. That's the mass number, right? So what is the experiment done by Rutherford? So according to Rutherford, he took a thin foil of gold. So gold நோடிய ஒரு மெல்லிய ஷீட் ஒன்னு எடுக்கிறார். எடுத்துட்டு he took a thin foil of gold. In that there are atoms. So in the atoms, on the atoms, what is passed? A stream of alpha particles. So alpha particles are allowed to penetrate this thin foil of gold. So it's a gold sheet. இதுல ஒரு atom போட்டு காமிக்கிறோம். இந்த ஆட்டத்துக்குள்ள என்ன போகுது இப்போ? Alpha particles are going to go. He found that it went like this. Right? So lot of alpha particles just pass through in the atoms, right? There are a particular alpha particles got deflected. Right? So this is the second observation. First observation, many alpha particles or alpha rays simply passed through the thin foil of gold atom, and few alpha particles got deflected. The third is very important. The alpha particles which fell at the center, the alpha particles which fell returned in the same direction. So மத்தியில பட்டது மட்டும் என்ன ஆகுது? அதே மாதிரி அதே direction 180 degree it turns and comes back. Right? So this is the third observation. The alpha particles which fell on the center part returned in the same direction. Right? What does it indicate? Why it is returning? So alpha particle, I said it is positive. If a positive particle meets another positive particle, then what will happen? They will repel with each other. Due to repulsion, they will come back in the same direction. Because they will collide with each other and they will repel with each other. So this is the observation that is being made by Rutherford. Rutherford proved that atom has got a tiny positive center, right? So according to Rutherford model, there are two things, right? Rutherford model, first one is atom has got a tiny positive center which is called nucleus. Nucleus. Then the second point is that electrons revolve around the nucleus. This is the model suggested by Rutherford. So positively charged nucleus is present. Around that, electrons are moving, revolving around the nucleus. This is the model proposed by Rutherford. So from this experiment, what is ruled out? Thomson's model is ruled out because the alpha rays only returned in the center part only. If it is fully positively charged, then in all the places what should have come back? Alpha particles should have come back. But it is not so. Only in the center part it returned. Therefore, positive charge is only present in the center of the atom, and that positively charged particles are later on named by Rutherford as protons. Right? So this is the model suggested by Rutherford. But this model is also having a defect, right? So what is the defect in this Rutherford model, right? The first defect is that according to a theory called electromagnetic radiation theory. So according to this theory, when a charged particle is moving, a charged particle move பண்ணாவே, it will lose energy. It will lose energy. So if the electron is moving around the nucleus, it will lose energy. If it loses energy, then what will happen? Then it will collide with nucleus. Then what will happen? Then the whole atom will be damaged and the atom becomes unstable. Right? Okay? So when there is a positive center, now the electron is moving around the nucleus. If it is emitting radiation, then slowly its radius will decrease, and after some time it will come and fall into the nucleus. This is what this electromagnetic radiation theory. So all electron ulla the nucleus koddichunave they will repel with each other, they will damage the nucleus and they will break the atoms into pieces. But all the atoms in the world are stable. Therefore this is not happening. So there is some defect in the model suggested by Rutherford about the emission of radiation by the movement of the electron. The second defect is that the arrangement of electrons around the nucleus is not explained. So nucleus சுத்தி electron எப்படி arrange ஆயிருக்குது அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கான explanation யார் கொடுக்கல, Rutherford கொடுக்கல, right? This is the second defect. Therefore a third scientist came and he started finding out the new atom model.